It's your favorite bartender, A5 Cup of Coffee. We are back at the coffee bar for another sip and review. We are going to be sipping on the Invisible cocktail, and we are going to be reviewing the Invisible Man. So I hope you all enjoy both. And let's go ahead and get started on our cocktail. We're going to get an old-fashioned glass. Get us a cube of ice in there. And what we're going to do first and foremost is add 2 ounces of gin. Then we're going to add a half an ounce of brandy. I'm using Paul Masson today. Give it a nice little golden look there. And then we're going to put about a half an ounce of triple sec in. Good. And we're going to actually put some ginger ale in here. We're going to get the Invisible Man to help us out here a little bit. And we're going to get a dash of orange juice, which whenever it says a dash, I always use the actual fruit. There we go. Good. And I'm going to stir it with our bar spoon here. And that's our Invisible cocktail, the help from the Invisible Man. That's a pretty decent cocktail. I'm with that. So, The Invisible Man came out 2020. It's actually the last movie I was able to see in theaters. And if I had to pick one to go out on, this is a pretty decent movie to go out on. It stars Elizabeth Moss. If you don't know her, she's actually from A Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. If you haven't checked that out, it's actually a pretty decent series if you haven't checked it out. And she stars along Aldis Hodge, who you might know him from Underground. He's actually also starred in Straight Outta Compton. He was MC Ren in that. And actually, he was on Leverage for a very long time on TNT. So actually, Aldis Hodge has his own accolades as well. And also, Storm Reid, who she actually starred in A Wrinkle in Time. She also starred in Don't Let Go, which is actually a really good thrilling murder solved movie as well. So yeah, these 3 star alongside each other. Of course, Elizabeth Moss is the main character here. She stars as Cecilia, and she is trying to escape her abusive boyfriend. He's abusive, he's controlling. He basically has her in his mansion with walls around it, literal walls around it. And she escapes this with her sister, with the help of her sister, and her sister puts her up with Aldis Hodge's character, which is Officer Lanier, and his daughter, Storm Reid's character, and her name is Sydney. And so she's staying with them, and she's trying to get over this abusive relationship. She actually is in her PTSD stage at this point because she is afraid to go outside. She's afraid to get the mail. Every knock on the door, she is frantic, and understandably so with what she's gone through. And this is the beginning of the movie, and basically 2 weeks after she's done all this, she gets a notice from her sister, and it's saying that her boyfriend, Adrian, has kicked the bucket. And she, honestly and truly, you can tell the emotions in her face. She doesn't know what to do with the information. And, you know, everyone else is kind of counting it as a win. And she's just super confused by the information. She doesn't know how to feel. You can tell it in her face. And eventually she just tries to move on with her life. And while she's moving on with her life, this is when the interesting stuff starts to happen. And you don't know whether it's Cecilia not able to let go of the situation, or it's actually a actual invisible man around. It really starts to turn into more of a psychological thriller at this point. And I will say this: if you haven't seen the movie, here's your warning. Go ahead and exit, because there's going to be mild spoilers. I'm not going to spoil the end. There are going to be mild spoilers going ahead from here, so you have been warned. Click off now. So, yeah, it's definitely an invisible man. And the cool thing that I really like about this movie is the build. The build and the character arc of Cecilia are the best things about this movie. So he doesn't, the Invisible Man doesn't do anything overt at first. It's just little stuff to kind of mess with Cecilia's mind, and he basically he sends notes to her sister from her computer, and she's like, I never wrote that, and man, he's like turns up the heat on her breakfast, or she burns the breakfast. He snatches the cover off of her at night. Just little small things that kind of slowly push Cecilia over the edge. She's already dealing with enough, with trying to get over this PTSD, and then this starts hitting her, and it's just like slowly pushing her over the edge. I mean, he even cost her like a job opportunity at one point. I mean, it's just kind of torturing her like little by little, and the mind games he plays are simple but very ingenious, as a matter of fact. And like I said, the build up until the point where he starts to actually overtly do things where, I mean, there's this one situation where he does in public with her, and I'm not going to reveal that, but man, it's pretty big, and it actually makes you really feel for Cecile, because she gets blamed for it, and she ends up in the crazy house because of it, or at least in lockdown because of it. And again, something she doesn't really know how to deal with, because she just knows he's watching her, and nobody else believes her at all. Not even her friend, Officer Lanier, is believing her at this point. That they're just kind of giving up on her, because nothing is what she's saying is making sense. And like I said, I enjoyed everything. And then when the Invisible Man starts to reveal himself to everyone, man, it really goes from 0 to 100. Like, it goes from nobody believes her to everybody better believe her. So it's really good. Really, it's not too slow of a build, but it's just enough to keep you on the edge of your seat until he decides that he wants to show himself. If you watch the movie, you'll see there's a whole plan to it and everything. Now, on to one thing. Like I said, a few things that I did like about it is Cecilia's character arc from abused woman to in the PTSD stage to conquering it all at the very end. I won't tell you the ending, but she definitely has her own way of overcoming everything. But the cool thing about it is everything is very earned. You feel for her through every stage, and everything. Nothing is rushed. To me personally, nothing is rushed, and I love the fact that everything just seems like you're definitely rooting for her to move through everything, and it's none of it is rushed, and it's close to 2-hour runtime. Now, one thing that I didn't like about it, or two things that I didn't like about it, is of course my constant nag is it wasn't enough character development on the antagonist side of everything. I can kind of let that slide on this movie, because honestly it really wasn't needed, because the movie made you care about everyone, even Officer Lanier and his daughter. It made you care about that. But one other thing that I didn't like that kind of took me out of the movie altogether was that there was this scene with Sydney and Cecilia, and Sydney is trying to cheer up Cecilia, and the Invisible Man he clocked Sydney like it comes out of nowhere literally, and clocks her, and Sydney immediately blames Cecilia, and you're just like, what? How would you how would you blame her? Like, it doesn't even look like she did it, like, at all. Like, her hands are on the ground. Like, if you're looking from the point of view, it took me out of the movie. I always, every single time I watch it, I always complain about this part. Of course, I've watched it several times, and never a boring movie, but this part takes me out of it, and I definitely have to take points off for it. Some points that I do give it is, of course, the character arc and everything, the way everything is shot, and the fact that it's it's based in reality. I love The Invisible Man because it is based in reality. It's not a serum. It is not a shot or something where somebody mistakenly turns invisible. It's technology. It's an actual suit that bends light. And that's the cool thing about this movie. I absolutely love it because it's not too far off of, what with augmented reality and VR and the way things play with your sight and how you see things. This is not too far off from what we're already seeing today. And that's what I really like about this movie. It's definitely based in a lot of reality. I love it. And another thing that I give it points for is it's actually restarting Universal's Dark Universe. Now, if you don't know about that, Universal's Dark Universe, sidebar, as a matter of fact, was supposed to start with Tom Cruise's The Mummy movie. And the Mummy movie bombed so bad, it's a terrible movie. Skip it if you can. It's a pretty terrible movie overall. The premise is great, but it tried to do too much in the first movie, and it didn't concentrate enough on the Mummy, in my opinion. It made the same mistakes as the DC universe trying to start up, with Batman versus Superman. In any case, I would definitely say that killed the Dark Universe, or so we thought. With The Invisible Man, it is actually restarting a version of the Dark Universe because we will have a Wolfman coming soon. We will have a Dracula coming soon. And I want to say there's a Frankenstein movie, but give me a few episodes. I'll do some more searching on the internet and find out for sure. But I know the Dracula and the Wolfman. The Wolfman for sure is more than likely going to be the next movie we see from the Dark Universe. And again, let me do a little more research, but I believe BlumHouse, which helped with this film, is going to have have his hands with Universal in making the Wolfman as well. So all good things. If you love the Invisible Man, I'm pretty sure you're going to love the Wolfman coming soon. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And I have to give Invisible Man some props on restarting the Dark Universe for Universal. So as far as my rating goes, I would have to give this movie a solid 8 cups of coffee out of 10 cups of coffee. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, no 7.5, no 8.5. A solid 8 cups of coffee out of 10. I absolutely love this movie. I love the suspense. I love the way it's shot. I love all of it. And the characters definitely made me care about them. I really want to see what happens next. I heard a few rumors that there was Invisible Man 2. I will come back to it if there is, and I will link this video. But I'm definitely for it. I give this drink a solid 7 out of 10. This is not my own creation, but this is actually pretty good. The Invisible Cocktail. So try it out. If you're more of an old-fashioned taste type person and you don't like too much sweet, this is a good one. So yeah. So outside of there, we got the 7 out of 10 here, 8 out of 10 on the movie review. Please like, share, subscribe. Please tell your friends about my channel. I appreciate everyone that's supporting me. This is why I got the bar instead of filming over by the countertop. This is why I got the coffee bar. I appreciate all of you all. And always remember, drink more coffee. Y'all have a good one.